Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to my poinsettias watercolor paint along. I had fun with this one. I decided to, I really don't know the name of this particular species or whatever of the poinsettias, but I really have liked seeing them in the stores. And it is the little pinkish one with the, I call it watermelon. I'm sure it is not watermelon. I just really made that up. And but I really like the pink and the green. And so let me see what I did after I say goodbye at the end. I think I had done the background over here, over here, over here, over there, and the middle. Now the middle is very, very important. I actually had a full practice that I didn't have the stems, but these stems really make it look more delicate and good. And because of time constraint, I can only do one. As always, right? Because, you know, it's going to take 1 hour, you know, and I try to go as fast as I can. Now, remember, you guys don't have to go fast, okay? Go backward if you miss something. When you're tired, like I know that you do get tired a little bit. Stop it and wait until you go refresh yourself or come back the next day. You know, watercolor is very good that way. And some things like red color, you can actually lift it like an eraser with water, you know, and so, and you know, sometimes I struggle with water red, but I do have a red poinsettias, and I don't think I've made it public on YouTube here. Now, if I haven't, if you don't see it, you can go to my blog, sunsetpeony.com, and that's where you can get a drawing of this, right? And you can also find the red one and try to click from there. I think you can watch it. And I'll probably try to make it public, but, you know, I'll see. Because of time constraint, I only do one blossom, if you can call it that, because I think these are leaves, so I don't really know. If you guys know, then you can correct me, of course, okay? And I do not stack it as you know, the foliage as dense, you know, because then it will be a little bit harder for you guys. And so I use the background to suggest the extra petals or whatever you call the leaves, you know, coming out from the back, okay? So that's why I do that. And if you are more advanced, then you can actually, you know, stack yourself up. And I also think that it will be very good if you get more proficient with this one. You can, you know, if it were me trying to make a painting, I will do one over here and one half of it over here, so it be more full as a painting. That will be something that's up to you. I told you that before I finished the painting, I might splash some, but then I decided to do these, you know, kind of abstract fantasy petal at the background. So I did not splash because then, to me, it might be a little bit of busy. And so I hope you enjoy this and really like this. It is not too hard, except you know, we do a technique today to kind of leave some suggestion of veins, okay? You know, because it's needed. And so this, I will walk you through every single step, and then we chat. I'm sure I talk about things, a lot of things. You know, sometimes when you're painting, you paint and that take a lot of your focus, and when you talk, you don't quite remember what you say. So I hope I didn't say anything strange, but if I do, I know you guys will forgive me. Anyway, so if you need a line drawing, I will try to do one. No, I will do one, and then the post. And if you look up, go to Sunset Peony, you know, probably pink and green. I think I'll call this pink and green poinsettias because the other one is red. That one is very, very intense color too. But anyway, so do that, okay? Just come and go and get the drawing if you need it to, and take your time and just really enjoy, you know, your Christmas season, you know, if you really want to pick to paint one of these, okay? And so I think 4 minutes I need to I think I will just sign this, and then there is I think I've told you everything that I wanted to tell you in the intro. So I will just let you guys go and have a happy time painting along with me, okay? And do support me by subscribing. I really like that. And if you have anything you want to talk to me and tell me or suggest to me, then go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm working on, I wanted to show you what I'm working on. I'm working on this, and I think that will be my next video. Okay, and I'm going to say goodbye now. Okay, have a good day and follow along, okay? Okay, let's get started, shall we? If you have a pencil of some kind, I know that the pencil line are very, very hard to see right now, and I always like to kind of, if I see some really strong pencil mark, I will erase some. Okay, so let's work on this one. And so the reason why I asked for a pencil is we're gonna draw the vein of the petals or the leaves. You know, I always thought that those are the leaves. So let's do a center line here, and then we are, you know, just going to do the side vein. And you will know why we need to do that, because as I was practicing this one to help to think about how to help to make it easier, then I had decided that, you know, if we do that, then, you know, because now if you have drawn with a pencil, it's easier, and you're not really comfortable with drawing with the brush, which is something that I know that you will do well. Okay, so you use the smallest zero brush, you know, the one that I like, you know, very much, a lot, and then you have some sap green, okay, and just do a vein. Do a vein right down close to the bottom part. Now you can see that, right? And then if you wanted to, you can just do a couple of side vein here, if you wanted to, or we can do that later, you know, just so that it will be something easy for us to see, okay? And then we have that vein there, and so let's go to the middle, like those buds, those flower buds, I guess, to lack of a better description. You know, I'm just not very good with describing all the parts, right? They are just nothing but little circles, okay? So we're just gonna use some sap green, and let me pull you closer, and so you can see, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, kind of circle over there, okay? I put some sap green there, and then I would want to go to pick up some cadmium yellow lights, okay? And then to dot the medium at the middle. But, you know, to be honest with you, when the paint is very well wet like that, when you put some yellow light, it just kind of lighten the green, but it actually does look like green still. And so we're just going to leave those as that, and just let it have a chance to dry, and then we might come later to darken it, okay? But because then for me to be doing this, oh, I was looking, is all my lights on, that you will be able to see that well, okay? Now, while we're waiting for this, let's come over here and do this pretty petal or leaf over here, okay? The same thing. Okay, so what I will do is I will do a drawing for you, okay, on my blog, sunsetpeony.com, like I always do, of the painting. And then what I would like you guys to do is to do the vein yourself, okay? Because that's just one of the reasons, as I was thinking, you do it as you go, because that way then it's not so busy, okay? And you might, if you wanted to change your mind or do something differently, then you will be able to do so, okay? Now, so we're gonna follow that pencil line that we have drawn, okay, and just do some little veins here and there, okay. And then now I'm going to go back to this one, and you see why I did that. Because this is a pinkish green, as you will see right here. You know that I would have included a painting. And I'm going to use magenta, okay, to do the paint part, okay. And as you follow me, you know what I'm thinking, okay. And so this is the edge of the petal right here, okay. So we're just gonna start on one side, because you know, as I start teaching more, I realize that it's very, very good to you know, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our best to paint around the vein, okay. Just give the vein a little bit, so it's very, very detailed kind of work, okay. Now do the best that you can, and you know that is doable. And then we'll come over here and then soften the thing, because soften the line of the pink part, okay. Because you know that with this now you know, I really don't know the exact name of this particular poinsettias, but you know, I know that it's pink and it has some green, so I kind of call it watermelon myself, okay? But you will be able to, I'm sure that it will be very, very easy if you go into the, to the, like Pinterest or internet somewhere that to find something that you can actually help you to trace along, to give you reference, okay, to this painting, what I'm talking about that I'm doing here. It's because of copyright problem, right? So I don't usually, okay, so you're following the vein line. I don't usually tell you, oh, just use this picture because I don't really have rights to do that. But if you wanted to use it for reference yourself, okay, you can just go and find some. Okay, now we do this shape that I'm doing. You can see that I do it as I go, and they're abstract. Okay, so you don't have to really worry about following me exactly, just as long as you can see your reference painting. And then what I'm doing right now is using some more intense magenta to fill in the gap. Okay, so you can see how pretty it's already. So it's already getting, so we can keep going here. Okay, and this is what we will do. Because with the poinsettias, you can't get around it. There's a lot of leaf or petals that you really need to just go through and paint it. And so we're gonna just have fun and talk, and just so it's not much different. I use one layer first, and then before the layer is dry, I go in and drop some paint in it. Okay, just to intensify the part that's towards the middle. And you can also do that by section too, and so that make it become very, very easy for you to be able to, to work on this flower. Okay, so because it's always now on the vein over here that you can see I'm leaving a little bit of white. Okay, instead of like down here I use the green. Okay, and up here I'm leaving a little bit of white. That's just a design element, nothing really because sometimes during the vein part of a flower or a petal, the vein that are facing up is actually kind of lighter. Okay, so I'm just it's just my design. I'm just leaving part of it white. Okay, and then I will do that randomly here and there, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, now I am going to be a little bit of not I wouldn't use the word rush, but I'm going to do it a little bit of a faster, in my speed. But as for you, you don't need to do that. Okay, you just follow me along, and then if it is going too fast for you, then you pause, right? Okay, then you pause, and if it is then you can just take your time and don't have to hurry. Okay, it is not about hurrying. There are some artists that like to do it very, very fast, their painting, and mostly they're very seasoned. I would say that, because if you're not a seasoned artist, don't attempt to try that, to be, to do things very, very fast, because then it's easier to make mistake. And so I like to, just, tell you, just take your time. Okay, and so the first petal is done. Okay, and on the edge of it, as you can see on the side, that area is kind of, what do you call that? It's kind of greenish, right? And so we'll come in and to do that. Okay, but as of right now, we're gonna kind of let's see which one. Let's do this one. Okay. Okay, we're drawing the vein ourselves again. Okay. This is a smaller leaf. I don't know if you can see that right over here. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this while I am, then I give it a chance for the vein to dry, and if I get too close to it, at least hope that it won't leak on us. Okay. Okay, a little bit, and then you can actually kind of use a clean brush and kind of soften it too. Okay, soften the vein a little bit too. It doesn't really need to be very, very sharp vein, but we can do both. We can like do softening this a little bit, but I'm like, you know, I shouldn't be doing it at this point, right? Because that's the one I'm going to work on next. And I went ahead and do that, but that's okay. Now, over here, I don't know if you can see that there is, there's a folding of a part of the leaf. As I paint, you'll be able to see that better, okay? And so we're going to do this one, and just like I say, you know, we put in the center vein and then the side vein, okay? And we use the green, sap green, and then because this is folding over, so there's more green, right? And so we're gonna do that. Can you see that now? Okay, we're gonna have more green than pink, okay? Because when it's facing the back side of the petal, then it will have more green, and the front side of the petal will have more pink, okay? At least that's how I observe the characteristic of this flower, and so I'm going to try my best to, you know, put what I see onto the paper, okay? Okay, the vein over here. You can see that now that we have some color, and then I come in and soften that just a tad bit, okay? That's the preparation for when I'm coming in again, okay? Now, and this one also, okay? Let's draw in the vein ourselves. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to use a splash of green over here, okay? Now make this, the stem part that is closer to the center a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker, okay? And then, you know, I'm going to do a little bit more of a green over here. You know, what I'm actually doing is I'm just designing the painting so that it's not so monotonous. Every petal, I like to have some element of difference in it, so they're not all looking like the same, okay? And so some of them I will just do that and make a design difference in there, okay? And so I think that's enough, and we're gonna go into that petal over there, okay? And the same thing, I pick up my clean brush, my flow brush with some magenta on the tip, okay? And then this is the edge, and then I'm going to come in and do the same thing, okay? Do the same thing, and I'm going to do this one segment here, and then clean out the brush. This is a clean brush now, and then just pull the color out. Because, you know, this poinsettias really is kind of, how should I describe it? It's kind of a gentle pink, okay? So I'm going to try to not make the color too intense, but I know that, you know, you guys are always like intense color is fun, but sometimes just to stay true to the nature, we need to, you know, get things a little bit gentler, if that makes sense at all, you know, just not have such intense color. Like, so for example, to make that a little bit of a clearer illustration of what I'm saying is, like, if you look at sunflowers, a very, very intense orange, right? Now, our pink here, we don't want to be that way. We don't want to be like a sunflower, okay? Because that's, you know, just nature is not like that. You can push our luck a little bit, we can, you know, and try to, you know, make it a little bit more intense if you are really a color lover, okay? But I think the more true to nature that we try to keep this, the better it is. The better it is to make it more beautiful, because I do trust that nature, but I do push nature though. I do. And I'm not, you know, one who is not guilty, I guess you can say that, you know, because we're artists, right? Whatever we put down, it goes, you know. That's what it stays on the paper, but it is good to, you know, follow nature, because I think we can't beat it. Is that a true statement? You know, that, you know, can we actually change what nature does and, you know, and make it pretty? I guess, you know, we could do that. Yeah, I shouldn't say that we couldn't do that. I guess we could, you know, because I reserved the right, you know, because what if in the future I actually wanted to do that in something that I wanted to do, you know, and then I have to take my words back, right? Okay, but as of this today, we're gonna try to be closer to nature, okay? And you can see that the direction of my paint, how I lay down the paint is the direction of the vein, right? You know, gentle, kind of gentle, you know. Okay, let's go on to this one, okay? So we have put some green over here, you know, just design, okay, difference, and now we're gonna actually do the edge with the pink. Isn't that fun? Okay, and then we're gonna just kind of keep going, you know, in this manner, okay? And I'm gonna soften the pink a little bit, but to just put a little bit more intense, you know, while it's still wet, I can put some on the edge, you know, and this way we separate this petal from that one, right? Just give it a little bit of a separation, okay? And then on this side, I kind of wanted it to be kind of whitish, you know, so I'm just gonna leave that, okay? Not a lot of, you know, so every little one is your design, right? And so do not make them try not to make them too what is the word for it, too you know, the same, okay? So try to make every petal different. So what do you guys have for plan for Christmas time? This time, my husband and I are just gonna stay home, and our children are all gone. You know, one is in Texas, one is in Florida, but I'm actually very good about being able to be home. I like my home. I like my tradition. You know, but now we have to do the tradition without the children, right? And I guess that's kind of different. You know, and I guess it's not, you know, I try to make myself realize that, you know, it really is my choice that I can't go, or, you know, because I'm going to go down and help her when the baby come. And so, so I'm not going to, you know, really worry about going. So in January I have to go, so I'm just going to be, you know, I'm actually quite at peace. I think that's what I wanted to say, you know, to you guys. So that is my plan. I'm just going to have peace and stay around and not worry about it. I really don't. I don't worry about, you know. I love Christmas time, though. I was thinking as I was practicing painting yesterday, I actually... When I was young, my father has, you know, in America, after we came to America, we have a Chinese restaurant. I think I've told you guys that, and you guys know that. That was a very hard time for us because I was very, very young, and my father told me that I can't go to school. I have to stay home and work in the restaurant, and I was only about 15 years old. And I know that wasn't right, you know, that he does that, but... you know, he couldn't speak any English at all. You know, even though knowing that we're coming, it was very, very hard for my father to learn a different language. And so he had told me that I need to stay home, you know, and work in the restaurant every day and can't go to school. So my sister and my second brother was the only one that were able to go to school. My oldest brother and I were told to stay home. And that was very, you know, that was very, very hard on me. Okay, so I'm going to intensify this a little bit. And so one of the things that was hard is, you know, I don't know if you guys like to watch that. Okay, so just keep going along the vein, okay? Because I like to chat and talk to you guys about things, but then I also know that I need to be careful and don't forget about explaining why I'm going, right? Okay, so everyone is just different design. And if you are very comfortable with designing, you can also do your own design too. Does not have to follow me altogether, but if you wanted to, of course, you know, you're welcome, right? And so my brother, my oldest brother and I had to stay in the restaurant. And I was 15, 16, so he was 17 and 18. And so that was our lot. You know, my father had ordered us to do so, and we did. And like I say, it was very hard on me, and I know that it was hard on my brother, but, you know, he's a boy. He doesn't like, you know, but he knew that the restaurant was going to be his. So, and, you know, I don't know if any of you actually have any experience with restaurant business. You don't make much money at all. Okay, so do you see that there's a folding side of the leaf, you know, and fold over there, okay? And so I might come in with a little bit of quinacridone violet, okay? Violet. And use that color to actually highlight the leaf over there, okay? Right here, okay? So that you can see that, you know, there's a separation and there's a, you know, kind of like a shadow cast, okay? Can you see that now? Better, okay? Yeah, because I'm looking at it and I'm just like saying, it needed something. Okay, let's, which one should we go for? We've done that one. There's one that's coming out this way. I think that's this one is kind of pretty. So let's do this one next, okay? Now, so what I'm going to do is the middle part, the middle few petal is going to be a lot stronger, and then we're gonna make it a lot less strong as we progress to the one that's behind them, okay? Now, so this one is behind, but this one still could take some strong vein over there, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. And then you see as we progress. But anyway, so it didn't bother my brother and it bothered me, okay? So I'm painting the middle vein, okay, over here. It bothered me a lot more, and well, that's just the way it goes. And so I was a very quiet child, I think. I don't really talk about now. I'm going to soften this, okay? Soften this vein that I just put in, okay? I don't really express my feeling because my father is a very strict man, okay? I wasn't like really allowed to, you know, but he did talk to me. He said, you know, you don't get to go to school, you know, and I know that there's a lot of regrets, you know, and sadness when he was telling me, but that's just what his plan was, you know, because of his lack of ability to speak English. And you know what, though, it took me at least half a year to actually be able to express myself, to be honest, you know. And so now I'm going to do the vein for this one pink with the magenta, okay? And so I stay and my brother stay, and then we just work hard like any, you know, immigrant or Chinese people. We're true immigrant. We're not illegal. We were not illegal, okay? We actually come here and you know, with a lawyer and all the stuff, you know, just to escape China, right? And China coming back into Hong Kong to take over. And so we have decided that it was wise for us to leave. And so we did that. And my father, as you know, was very anti-communism, you know, and so he came and, you know, and decide to think that it will be a better life for us. And so that was many hard years, okay? I was working in the restaurant and without education, you know, and I'm one who likes to learn, and that was you know, that was me. And so that was very hard, and I didn't get to go to school. But anyway, you know that I ended up going to school myself, and that was very good after, you know, after a while. Anyway, so let's do this one too with the vein, okay? Let's do like with the, you know, you draw the vein in here, okay? And so Christmas was really funny. If you like, I was just starting. If you have watched the movie Christmas Story, that was us. That really was us. We were very funny. We don't close. We work 365 days a year. We don't celebrate even Chinese New Year, and so we just keep going. That was our, you know, my father's decision, you know, to do that. And so at Christmas Story, you know how the neighbor's dog came in and destroyed their Thanksgiving food, right? So the dad just say, okay, we're gonna go out to eat. And so they went to a Chinese restaurant and eat Peking duck, and that was our restaurant, if I had to, you know, to tell you, okay? And that was our restaurant. And so we're doing nothing different, okay? Just keep doing, but some of the vein are green and some of the vein, I'm choosing to make it pink, okay? And so remember they sing fa ra 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 ra, and that was us. Well, we didn't come out and sing. We weren't that silly. We were very serious people, and so but the surprise, it would be a surprise to you. There was a lot of people do not stay home and celebrate. Our restaurant usually get quite a bit of people coming, and that was fun, and it was funny, and so that was us. And I always get so sad because it's holiday, and I always like get the bug, that, oh, this is holiday and I should be, like maybe resting or celebrating, it is very hard to tell you how now. So I just slapped down some color over there, and then I'm going to just softly trying to mingle it with the green, but not getting into the green, okay? Now, because you know that green and pink are opposite color, right? Or red, in the color spectrum. And if you mix them, then it will become brown. But this one is not going to become brown, okay? So if you make a mistake and get it too close, then don't worry about it, okay? Because sap green, okay? So remember, look at how I use my brush. It's like spreading the hair. If you use sap green and magenta, a true magenta, okay? Get a good magenta, from Daniel Smith or, any place that where you can get a good paint. If you put those two color together, then they don't really give you a mess, okay? If you mix them together for this painting, okay, not for every painting, because I know that as I paint with you, I will tell you about the one that we will be using, and that will be more reliable, okay? Because I wouldn't just say, oh, you can always do this. That will not be the case, okay? So we're going around the green, okay? We're going around the green and dropping pink color on it as we go, okay? And trying to make a pretty painting of this poinsettias, okay? And so we're trying to, I'm making design, right? Everyone is different. And so they will come into the restaurant, and it will be very funny. And I usually get good tips because it's the holiday, and we don't get the waitress to work, though. Usually it's just me. And so, and people will be very happy. And I always thought, I wish we can celebrate Christmas. I wish we could, because then, I think people need holidays, it gives them some kind of happiness, and so we didn't get that. And so it was different. It really was. Okay, now for this one that's behind, okay, I'm going to do some green over there, but not very intense, because we're going towards the paint, the leaves that are further away from us, okay, right? And so we don't want the color, we're going to mute the color more and more as we go, okay? And you can see that I'm going to use the background to mute the color more when we're doing the background, okay? And so I have my own family. Of course, I was going to celebrate Christmas a lot, and I did, well, I like to make it magical for the children, if that makes sense, because, they just put some happiness, and but not a lot of present. We do different things. We like to go visit decoration, and go visit the mountains, and that's our way of, okay, now, in order to separate this leaf from this leaf, I'm going to put a little bit of a darker green over here, as if it was a shadow, okay? So let's use my perline green, okay? And then I'm going to put that, do you see that? That kind of separated, but it's not very, very glaring, okay? You may see it, and you might just kind of miss it that I did that. Okay, you see that? Okay, so you separate the leaves because they're stacking on top of each other, just like what I did over here. Okay, I kind of separate the leaf, but what I'm going to do is, after I put in the green color here, I'm actually going to put actually I'm going to put a little bit the quinacridone violet. Actually, I wanted to use more pink on this one too. Yeah, so when the kids were growing up, we like to go concert, and so when they become older, not become older, when they grow older, they actually need to do band, right? So they both play trumpet and the piano. So we do a lot of those things at during the Christmas season. And that was really fun. And now, so they're gone, so my husband and I try to go to concert, and we get tickets to Messiah, you know, because yeah, my husband taught me Messiah is a very, very long piece of music, and he taught me to really, really enjoy it. And so I'm so, you know, with classical music, I guess you guys know that, right? The more you listen to it, the more you love it. And so I love it, and so he loves it, and that's what we do now. And then we like to go around and look at people's decoration, you know, and that's the city girl that's in me, right? Like in Hong Kong. You know, we always like to look at decoration. That was really fun. Okay, I really actually very much like the way it's looking here. Okay, so I'm going to let it dry a little bit and put on some green in the back. Okay, so this one will be more intense of a pink, kind of like that one. I actually wanted to do a little bit, you know, that's just my thinking. Okay, a little bit more of that pink, just to have a little bit more pink and a little bit less green over here. Okay, how are you guys coming along? Okay, like I say, if it is getting too fast or whatever, just take your time. Okay, we can you can stop it and just kind of follow me. Okay, like stop it and then okay, I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is, you can see that there's this beautiful area in the middle. Okay, now we're going towards the back color, and so we're going to, let's see, maybe do this leaf over here, you know, and in a very, very you know, you can still do the vein. I think that might be still a little bit helpful, but this one, this kind, we're gonna just be very loose. Okay, be very loose with the color, and it will be more green because we're going to, but I think I will do this one pink a little bit more, and let this one go green. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, we're going as we're just having fun as we go. Okay, and so yeah, so that's what we're doing this year, and I hope that you guys have something fun planned out to do this year too. And of course, lots of fun painting, right? Oh yeah, and in our museum here, my husband just told me Tissot, they have Tissot painting. You know, the artist Tissot, his painting is now on display at BYU, and so I'm going to go, of course. Okay, now I wanted, since it's back, I wanted to push that back. Sap green is a very sharp green color. Okay, so you can see that what I just did is I'm using a little bit of perlene green to mix it so that it's not as sharp. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the indigo to help me very, very soon over here. Okay, because we want it, you know, we want it not when the leaves are back in the back, we wanted it to push back. Okay, so that's what I just did. Okay, I put in a little bit of indigo right there. Okay, and then go back to the sharp green, to the sap green. Okay, because you know that's the way we do things, right? You don't have to worry about you don't have to really worry about and don't let the vein be too sharp. Okay, and that's fine too, because that's what happened to our eye with nature, right? You don't really see that. And then I'm going to leave this patch over here, and I'm going to have it kind of whitish over here, and then what I'm going to do is when it's dry, I'm going to come in and throw in some pink, some magenta over there. Okay, now this is you know, I think it's kind of boring, this area. So when this area is dry, so now it's very wet and it has a lot of paint, and I'm going to actually drop in a little bit more of the perlene green. Okay, but when it's dry, then I'll come in with some indigo and put some vein in there. Okay, now over here, this area with the petal on the front, I told you that, right? I'm going to come in with some quinacridone violet and just slightly, you know, slightly build this up so you can see that there's a separation, right? And that makes it look cleaner and not as hard to see, you know, everything, you know, just mixed together. And that is something that we needed to keep an eye and remember our objective and why we're doing things like that. And so now we're going to work on this one, okay? And as for that one, it needed to be more green in the back, okay? Now, before we go on to that, let's go on to that first. Okay, keep changing my mind. Okay, so I want this to be a little bit more pink again, okay? Right here, okay? Because I'm not quite willing to give up the pink leaf yet and turn it all to green, okay? So I'm gonna put a little bit, and that's my vein, right? A little bit more red on there, okay? And then I'm going to use this, my flow brush, okay? Get in the magenta. Okay, I need to turn this off because it's at 35 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, magenta over here, okay? Now, but it needed to be very, very weak magenta, okay? But it looks like it's very thick magenta, but don't worry, okay? Because right away, I'm going to come in and soften it so it become a kind of weaker magenta, okay? Now I'm butting up against this leaf over there, okay? So we just need to, you know, and I think that the biggest challenge to this painting is the being able to, you know, be able to hold steady, right? While we are right next to, you know, so many leaves, you know, and then I think with nature, with flowers, sometimes that is the challenge, but we just get used to it, you know, no need to worry. Just do the best that we can, okay? And you can see that I'm leaving white area. That's to indicate the veins, okay? Now, so, you know, really not that intense, okay? And I'm going to do this now. At this point, I'm going to go into my quinacridone violet with my little zero brush, the sharp brush or the detail brush, okay? And then I'm going to come over here and separate the two leaves, okay? Define it a little bit. Actually, there's one leaf, and then that's the back, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this. Yes, you can see that, okay? I'm using the magenta to, like, as a shadow kind of color to separate them. And you can see that. Now you can tell that there's a difference, right? Over there, okay? Now, so what was the one? Okay, I'm going to come back here with some green again, okay? Come back over here with some green now. You know, let's do the sap green first, okay? Now that's the side, okay? And because this is the characteristic of the flower, it really does that. It has some green, and the inside, the green is more white. And when it goes towards the outside, there's actually a little bit more green, okay? So since we're doing the outside leaf, I would like to put a little bit more green, okay, around that, okay? I think this flower is actually quite common, and if you go to like Lowe's or any nursery, oh, I'm gonna go to some, there's a really pretty nursery around here that I wanted to go and take some picture and share it with you guys, you know. I don't know how to share it, and maybe I'll just do it on you know, I wanted to say hi to everyone around Christmas time, so I might just do that, but I don't know. It all depends on how things go. If I'm able to collect enough, now I put just drop some, you know, perlin green, okay, on the edge. Just sneak that in there so that you can see that, you know, it's quite pretty. You know, just have that right there. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit green now, but, you know, on the inside flower, they do have green, but they're ever so slight, okay? So don't make it too intense like this. Don't make it too intense, you know, but make it like kind of gentle, okay, like that, okay? And I need to do that with this leaf too, okay? Use some sap green and just kind of, and if you can leave some white, that's good too, okay? Like, you know, because it needs to be just a gentle, light touch, okay? For the petals that are inside. But for the petals that are outside, you can be a little bit stronger, okay? Okay? You see that? Isn't that pretty? Wow, this is taking a long time to dry, and so I can't touch that leaf yet. And so this is the back petal, right? And I know that it is kind of getting dry, so I'm going to put a little bit more intense of a green over here, okay? Because you can. Yeah, and so there you go. And my parents never had picked up Christmas because it's celebrating the Savior Jesus Christ, right, and His birth, and so they didn't like that very much, and so they just they are not devout Buddhists, but they like to, you know, they just had never accepted Jesus Christ as a Savior for them, you know. And so that's what they do. They just do not really celebrate the Christmas time. But I know that a lot of Asian people actually have, you know, accepted celebration of Christmas, and they really enjoy it. You know, of course, I'm Christian now, being the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint member. Of course, I love celebrating Christmas time and the birth of the Savior. And but as for my parents, they never did. And you know, so they do still celebrate Chinese New Year a lot, but Christmas, no. After we closed the restaurant, they, you know, they get too old. They sold the restaurant, and not they. Actually, my mom left. He and my brother sold the restaurant, and then my father moved to California, and he was able to celebrate, you know, holidays again. And I think that was very happy for him. Restaurant business is very, very hard, and for some reason, even though, you know, we were able to do good business, but not that much enough to be, you know, I'm just dropping some, you know, color to make variation. Okay, I like to do that. Okay, so this is coming together quite well. Okay, and so let's you know, so we're doing more of the back petals now. Okay, but so this one, maybe I'll do it more of a green one. Okay. Now this one I'm not going to, you know, just for my sake, you know, I know that I don't need to do the vein, you know, draw the vein out, you know, so I'm just going to go in with my brush and just start it. Okay, you know, because I kind of am able to use my brush as a tool very well, as a drawing instrument quite well, because of my all the practice that I've done when I was young, right? And so I don't need to do that. But if you guys, you know, really like to, you know, don't hesitate. Okay, just keep drawing your veins and just kind of follow that so that you won't get flustered at home. You know, fluster meaning like, oh no, I make a mistake here. Oh no, you know, I didn't see that over there. You know, and so there's nothing wrong. You know. There's nothing wrong with. Okay, so I'm dropping some of a darker green over there, just to, you know, because I'm trying to push back the color, right, and not have it so intense, because it's a back leaves on the back, and so that's what I'm doing over here now. Okay, and I'm butting against that little leaf in the front, so I have to be a little bit of, you know, careful. Okay, so I'm you know, trying to go a little bit faster so I can have some time to do the back with you. The not the back, the background, yeah, with you guys. So that's what's on my mind right now. And you guys don't have to worry. Let me do the worrying, okay? Okay, so this brush is like full of water now, okay? And so I don't like this circle right there. I don't like that one, that white that I leave. So I just take that out, okay? But this one I'm actually quite happy. Maybe not with that one. And I'm going to, for the one that I'm happy, I'm going to leave that, okay? And so this is what I'm going to do, okay? And then because it's one of the back leaf, I'm going to actually push the color out. So what I'm doing is I'm actually push it in and mixing it with the background that's going to come, okay? So that, you know, it's just the way that I do background. Okay, and so I'm gonna, it's full of water and it's quite good, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. Okay, and I'm going to do this one over here, and then this one over here, and then I will have time to do the background with you guys. Okay, so let's do that with the pink in the middle. Okay, and I'm not drawing the vein, but you can. Okay, now I'm butting that against, I'm turning and rotating my painting so it's easier on my arm, you know, to reach the part that I needed to reach. Okay. Okay, butting that against that. Okay, but don't worry, the color is so similar, right? But it will be different. You can trust me, because as I approach, you know, as this is dry, have the time to dry a little bit. Okay, I'm still kind of doing the vein. Okay, as it has time to dry, and then I will come in and put the quinacridone violet to separate the two color. Okay. It's getting kind of fun, don't you think? You know, so I'm just adding a pinkish leaf over here, okay? But not all pink, because I don't like that, so I'm going to come in and drop some green in it in a minute. Okay, you see that? You know, I'm the vein is showing. Okay, so so I'm okay. I'm going to push this up to the tip. Now, it doesn't need to be all dry. We're going to go into violet with my very, very small brush. And I'm going to do a separation right here, okay? So you can see this beautiful petal that we have painted earlier, okay? It needed to still be there, okay? And so that's the separation. And hopefully you will be able to see that, you know, I introduced a different color in there, but not too much that is glaring, okay? So you see that? Okay, and I'm going to just stay with my brush and be very brave, you know. Sometimes I do things like that. Before these guys are dry, I'm going to go in with my green. And go in with my green. Right here, okay? Now I do that, but if that makes you uncomfortable, then, you know, you just wait until it's dry, okay? Wait until these pink are dry before you go in with your green color, okay? And then try to make some kind of a tip there, because that's pretty, okay? You see how pretty that is? And then you use your bigger brush that's clean, and then just kind of push out this color, okay? Because it's going to be meshed with the background color a little bit, okay? And so I only have this one more, okay? So yes, I think I'm going to start over here. And I change my mind sometimes with design, you know, as I go, because I love this area that is created, right? And so I want this to come, how about, oh, okay, how about doing a stem? How about doing a stem and come over here, okay? You see that? Okay, so I just draw a stem. And that's okay. You can draw it, or you don't have to. Now, let's go over here, okay? Now, there's not much of a vein over there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use indigo color with my small brush. And I'm going to just recover, you know, some of the characteristic, okay? Recover some of the vein characteristic. But guess what I'm going to do? You know, so you see that I just painted some vein on it. And I'm going to straightway come and soften it so it's not so glaring, okay? But you can still see the characteristic of the vein, okay, right there. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Because this one, you know, if you can see, I'm just not very happy with what happened earlier. You know, and so I'm using some indigo, you know, color. I'm very brave. I use this dark color and go in there, okay? And just try to recover some of the, you know, the part that I didn't like, okay? And then I'm going to soften it. Just come in and soften it. When it's dry, you can rework area. You know, so you know that's like what I always say, right? Don't push a color too much. And I told you that earlier. I'm gonna drop some. I'm gonna drop some paint over here, and okay. So that's what I'm doing now. Drop some paint over this area that I reserve white. Okay. So you know, and you can, if you go observe in garden center, and garden center and and you know, like Lowe's or whatever it is, they do that. Okay, they have that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the small brush and then come in here, and since it's a little bit pushed back, I'm going to use if I use an indigo, well, we'll see. Okay, we'll see if that works. Okay, and then come out here and use the indigo to be the vein. Okay, but since it is green, so we need to kind of drop some of our sap green back into here. Okay, so not just indigo. Okay, so we're going with the vein, and the vein is coming out. Okay, budding against this flower right here. Okay, and so we just be steady and we take our time. Okay, we draw the vein, and now we go back with a clean brush, and we're gonna just pull the color out. Okay, but all the while, remember, we do want the vein to be there, to be seen, but just not in a very sharp way. Okay. So finally, I was able to, you know, go out and you know, go to university, be with Brigham Young University, and go, you know, when I helped my father pay off a lot of his debt, and you know, just decide to go to school myself. My brother actually is a very fun-loving man. He, when we were young, he would buy presents for us on his birthday, because he knows that he will never get a present from us because we were poor, and my father would never have. But him being the first child and being the son, he get spending money, but we don't. I don't know if he earned them. I don't think he earned them because he was always playing with his friends. And my second brother and I don't get to play. We come back and work in the not in Hong Kong in the factory. Okay, so we don't get to really play that much. But my brother does, and so you know, that's just Chinese. You know, society, they do that. I don't felt the same way. You know, I know the Heavenly Father loves us girls. You know, and boys the same. Okay. I really, really believe that, but you know, the Chinese society, they just like really spoil the boys. Okay, and so I use some of the perlene green to darken it because it's going further back. Okay, and so we need to just not be, you know, so sharp, right? And then I'm gently softening this color out, and I know that I'm putting quite a bit of color over here. And so my brother always like, you know, but he's like so. You know, he likes presents, and he likes, you know, so instead of us buying him presents, which will never happen, he buys presents. Such a nice guy. Okay, and so I think this is like enough, and today, you know, so I'm going to put some indigo, okay, just to make the color a little more dull, because it's like on the back, right? It's so funny, you know. And so at Christmas time, you know, he will get us present. Like it's Christmas is coming, and he asked me what do I want from Los Angeles, because you get more Chinese stuff there. I said I don't want anything, don't spend money on me. Okay, so now we're working on the background. Are you guys so excited how this is turning out? It's quite pretty. Okay, it's not the traditional red one. I actually have a red one, but we will use the small brush. Okay, really small brush, the detail brush, and now we're going into the indigo. Okay, in the middle, and we're gonna, you know, because the middle has so many intricate, you know, details, right? And so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna work around it. Okay, so good thing I still have good eyesight. Okay, and put the indigo. So the middle part is actually kind of intense. Okay, oh, drop some water. Okay, but not just indigo, because if you just put indigo, it will be kind of blue. So I'm gonna put some perlene green. It's just dark color. Okay. It's just perlene green to mix with the indigo color, and then I'll do the same thing. I need to push it out. Okay, and then the color will merge over here by itself in a minute when they are ready. Okay, and so now we are bringing the middle part. Okay, let me do a couple more times for you. How are we doing in time? Not very good, but that's okay. Yeah, my brother is like such a funny guy. You know, he's the one that I told you that sat by my mom, sleep by her when during COVID, and I think he got COVID, and he just slept next to her bed so that if she need anything, you know, she wouldn't know. So I mean, he's just like sleeping on the ground, you know. He's a good guy, but sometimes he's very overbearing too, you know. And you know, but still he's a very good guy. You know, but I learned through the years. When I was younger, I didn't know how to say no to his. You know, he liked to have a sidekick go around and do things for him, and he tried to use me as that. And when I was young, I really resent that and really annoyed with him. But now I just say no. No, Davy, you know, you're just gonna have to do this yourself, because he wanted to go to Hong Kong soon. You know, Asia is still, you know, deep into COVID, right? I just feel really, really bad for them. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm just going around the veins and trying to preserve the veins, okay? And have a dark color to indicate the background, the part, you know, of the plants that you can hardly see, okay? So that's what I'm doing. And meanwhile, I'm making perlene green with indigo, okay? To do that for the middle, because, you know, the middle really need to be dark. Because as it's dark, then the light will, I mean, you know, then this light, the plant is really lighter, and then it will show. And so he's like, he's trying me on the sidekick again. He said, hey, Kathy, do you want to go? And I say, you know, I say, no, I'm not going with you. You know, my father has that personality too, you know. And I say, no, I'm too busy. You know, I need to do painting. I want to do painting. And I just don't want to go to Hong Kong when the people are still sick. Actually, most of the relatives told him that, you know, uncles, you know, my uncle died of diabetes. And, you know, but we have some other uncles. They're not too close to our family. We always call them uncle because they are my father's best friend. And so we love them, you know, for many years. And so Davy, my brother, wanted to go see them, and they said, no, we're not going to come see you because we're old. And you know, the Asian people, they don't want to take the vaccine, okay? So they're just very scared of it, and so they're not going to do it. And they say, well, we just hide, and until we hope that everything will be over, and then we can come back out again. But as of right now, we're not going to let you see us. But he's still going. You know, he loved Hong Kong so much. He's like, my father tell my sister that my brother really has not adopted to the American way of living. You know, he's still very, very much Chinese, and my father is correct, you know. Before he died, he told my sister that. And so my brother really liked to go back to Asia and, well, actually just Hong Kong. He actually doesn't really like Asia that much, the other part of Asia. You know, I like Singapore and Malaysia, but my brother doesn't. I also love Taiwan too. Taiwan is really fun. I like the people there. And so he's like just gonna go, and I say, I'm not going to be a psychic, sorry. But he's like nice tempered. He really, like, do you see the middle part is all done, okay? And so that's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. And I know that it might be a little bit of a challenge, you know. It just really is not a challenge, but you just need to just be patient and be willing to use a small brush, okay? To go in there and get those nice, okay? And so now we're off to the background, and then we'll be done. And as you know, okay, let's use it seems like you guys really like the happy dot. Now happy dot is a little bit not sharp enough for the edge over here, but I'm going to use it because I think I can. And then I will just do I'm mixing indigo with a little bit of you know, and I'm going to do like a couple of parts, you know. So what I'm going to do is just do our fantasy or abstract background that I always do in my painting, okay? So nothing really to it, so I'm not going to you know, do the whole thing with you guys. And then what I will do, okay, so I have some indigo mixed with a little bit of sap green, okay? And then I be very, very careful around the edge, and then after the edge part is done, I'm just going to pull the color out, okay? I just pull the color out, and you know, and then so we, you know, we try to, you know, and then you know, some part over here with some of the back leaf, I can actually pull some of this color into the plants, okay? Now I actually wanted to do something with this, so I need to better do that before I forgot. I actually wanted to put some pink on here. Okay, so that's it, okay? And over there, I might need a little bit of green on that side, but we'll use the background color. How's that? Okay, and then we use some, don't forget to put some, drop some sap green here. Okay, and just a happy color so it's not too dark, but not too bright though. Okay, some perlene green, and perlene is a darker green, right? And then we're gonna just, you know, pull that out. Okay, pull that out until we get to a point where we want it to just, you know, kind of disperse it out. And you know, what I will do is, like, at times like this, I might like pretend that there's one leaf, a pink leaf coming from this way, from the same plant, or no, from a different, well, from the same part of plant. How's that? You know, but it's in there, and so I'm going to you know, just a suggestion. You see that? See how I just do that? You know, just do a suggestion so you can see that there are other leaves in the neighborhood. Okay, and then I actually want this to be a little darker, so while this is still wet, I want it to come back in and intensify that a little bit. Okay, okay, all right. And how's that? You know, just kind of like that. Okay, let's do this part over here for you to see, so you can you know, kind of, you know, and then you can do the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to still be a little bit careful over here. Okay, just to show you. Okay, I'm bringing the indigo, you know, to make a dark background. Okay, and then when I know that the edge is sharp and fine, then I'll pull the color out. Okay, I put the color out, and then I say, wow, I use a little bit more, too much water, and then I will, you know, just drop in a little bit more of the indigo. Okay, so that it's not like, you know, so diluted. Okay, and I always like to put some perlene green if I want the area to be darker, which is my intention over here. Okay, want the area to be a little bit darker, and then I will, after the background is done, I'll splash. You know, just drop some droplets of color just to make it more festive. Okay, and then I'm going to use some perlene green here to go into this petal right here. Okay, just to mingle some of the background color onto this petal that we worked so hard earlier to finish that. Okay, so that's what I did, and the indigo will go in with the perlene green and do some mixing over there just a little bit. It will just do that. Okay, and so that's very, very nice. Okay, because then not everywhere is so sharp. Okay, so let's do this a little bit over here for you guys. Okay, and then I will just have to say goodbye and thank you for coming to have fun with me doing this painting. Okay, because I really have fun. Okay, I really, really have fun painting with you guys today. And I hope that you guys are having fun painting some Christmas painting and having some fun plan. You know, I have more plans. You know, I'm not done with all the Christmas, but I just like to, you know, because, you know, it's the season, right? We want to drag out the enjoying of the fun Christmas and magical Christmas for over a month or at least a month. Like today is December 2nd, I think, that I'm painting this, and I like to drag out the season. I really do. You know, and just, you know, don't say Merry Christmas only on the last week. You know, we need to just have fun and do what we like, and go to concerts, go to you know, look around, you know. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money, of course, definitely, you know, we don't, you know. And I try to use my imagination and my creativity instead of spending a lot of money with the children. You know, if it is needed, then they get, like, sometimes they'll get a bike, right? Because they needed to learn to ride a bike and such, you know. But I don't, they're not video game player. We never taught them to do that, and they just don't really like to, and so we never did buy the expensive games for them. And sometimes it was hard, but not for my first daughter, because most of her friends are very hardworking kids, and they don't play video game that much either. you know, and so that was good, you know. Oh, okay, isn't that kind of fantasy nice over there? And then I don't want it to be just indigo, so I'm gonna, even when it's wet, I can drop some, you know, magenta over here, okay, just to brighten up this area a little bit, okay. And so I'm going to leave you this, because I've done this part and no difference, okay. Just be a little bit careful around, you know, and then just do the regular background like I always do, and then I'll show you in the introduction, okay. And hey, I'm so happy that you guys are my friend. I'm so happy to know you, so happy that we can, you know, actually talk and, you know, tell you guys things and have the, you know, enjoying the season, you know, with you guys, and be able to communicate. Actually, it's just on my part, but I guess that's the way it is. And so you guys have a very good time, and hopefully you have time to do this, you know, take some time and put on some nice Christmas music that you like, and don't forget to subscribe to me, because I really like that, and and celebrate the season and remember our Savior this time and His birth and how grateful we are. And I'm very grateful for all of you, and your friendship too. And I will see you in the next painting, okay? Goodbye.